It's a heat of the Wyfold Challenge Cup between the Northwich Rowing Club and the Lea Rowing Club. Coxless fours just squeezing it away from the start. Both crews getting away nice and straight, and hopefully not going to have too many steering issues in this one, but let's see.
Really nice lively start there from both crews, especially that Northwich crew. They really took off, looking really tidy and sharp there as they powered up off the start.
And we've moved up the course now, coming up towards in that second quarter of the race, and you can see this one's really tight. Both crews pretty much side by side. The Lea on the left of our picture in the orange, and it's Northwich to the right of our picture in the green, and we can see John Hedger there has his flag out warning the Lea they need to get back onto their station. They don't want to get into any issues with steering at this stage, and it's difficult because the Lea's steered from the 2 seat. Alex Wildey has the rudder attached to his foot, so he's got a lot to think about now.
Yeah, I have enough trouble steering a boat without having to row, so I don't envy these guys this job here today.
And this is another fantastically close race. Henley on the Wednesday, delighted to see racing of this quality so early in the competition.
And I believe that Matt Langridge, who's an Olympic gold medalist in the 8, who's his old club is Northwich. I believe he's been doing some coaching there, so I don't know if he's had anything to do with this crew, but maybe he's been giving them a few tips behind the scenes, if nothing else. Yeah,
Matt Langridge, Olympic gold, silver and bronze medalist, came from Northwich Rowing Club, and yeah, this crew is doing him proud as they're neck and neck with the Lea crew. The Lea have put out a number of strong crews this year. Their Wyfold 4 won the B final of the Championship Coxless Fours at Marlow Regatta, and they're hanging right in here, neck and neck down the course. Coming through the 3/4 mile, so we're coming up to the last quarter of the race, passing Reminen Club now. They're in a slight quiet patch where there's no crowds. Then they're going to come into the enclosures where it'll get massive for this one. Northwich raced in the Tier 2 fours at Marlow Regatta and won that one convincingly, so they've got experience. This one's not going to be convincing. This is an absolutely gut-wrenching side-by-side Henley race. Match racing, what it's all about. Side-by-side at this stage of the race. Zoe, what would you be saying to the crews if you were coxing them now?
I think I would just be telling them to hold their head, just to keep rowing the pattern that we've practiced. You know, don't get distracted by the fact that there's a crew right there alongside, and remind my crew that this is why we do it. We love being side by side. This is the best part of racing. Absolutely, this is the best part of racing. This is what it's all about. John Hedges needing to warn them. Again, he's going to drop that flag towards the Lea side, telling them to move back onto their station. He doesn't want them encroaching like this. They do want to encroach, I'm sure. They want to try and do what they can coming into the enclosure to try to minimise anything that Northwich Rowing Club have. And that's not helped them, that steering correction. It really hasn't. Northwich now, I think, have been able to take advantage of that, and I think get in there and see if they've maybe stolen a canvas coming into this this enclosure area where they're going to hear the crowd. The excitement's going to be onto them, and like you say, Zoe, the rowers now need to keep focused. The heads are good, they're not looking across. Sometimes at this stage you see rowers start looking every other stroke, trying to see what's happening, but they're not. They're side by side, looking straight down the boat, keeping focused. And they're still looking really tidy, they're looking clean. This is another great race. A great race. Toby Dixon in the bow seat there with the long hair, keeping it going, building the stroke rate, making the calls. Alex Wildey in front of him, the two of them trying to power it on, trying to lead their crew from the back. Jonathan Daniels and Tobias Perrin in the stroke seat will be doing all they can, and they're getting themselves in front, but they're causing John Hedger to get his flag out, and he won't be happy about this. This is a difficult one, and you see them catch the water there. And that's caused them to come back a little bit, but this is so close with Northwich. John Hedger still warning them. They want to be careful here because they don't want to find they cross the line and have an appeal from this Northwich crew. Yeah, and George Lawton in the stroke seat of the Northwich crew pushing them further. What's going to happen coming into the line? Oh! Well, it's Northwich across the line first ahead of Lea. We're going to have to wait to see what John Hedger makes of this. If you ask me, Lea were the ones who were having the problem, so John holds up the white flag. I think Northwich were just ahead there as that clash happened. I think they had the momentum. I suspect they were going to win that race. And since Lee had been being warned so much, I suspect that was a reasonably straightforward call to make there.
Yeah, I think so. Had it gone the other way, it would have been very difficult.
Absolutely.
If the Lee had been in front. But Northwich confirmed that they've won. That white flag went up. They crossed the line in front, so we know they were the winners. And there we see it confirmed in that heat. The Wyfold Challenge Cup, a win for Northwich over Lee.